From your comfort zones, you say, move on, move on. Because every time people try to heal and voice their opinions, you assume they're as bitter as you are, even though you haven't experienced half of what they've been through. So this morning, I am Mubat Liam because I truly am. And I get people that I grew up with, some of the people that think they know how to talk. The ignorant, and that is no disrespect, say, move on. But I'm not your regular. People like me are not your regular. And we are people you have to live with. We're loving, we're kind, we're strong. You know we're better in a lot of ways, other things we do than you are. So for the sake of the ignorant and the righteous, and those who haven't lived in our shoes or lived in our lives, we say it is not your place to tell us when to move on. Because see, people like me are not regular. We don't like moving on. Because we've been through so much already. So our lives cannot just be regular. We like to move on up. Which means we finish the assignment on the ground. Make sure that we get the best out of life from that. And then we move on up. You keep being regular. You move on and act like you're forgiven or pretended that you're no longer pained. We don't like to pretend we resolve issues. And yes, we're no longer pained. But see, the kind of hurts that we've been through, and the kind of brokenheartedness that we had to live with for years, and the kind of worthlessness that life, people, and love have tried to put in our heart has to have somewhere to go. So we like to heal at the same time. You know, when you say chew gum and walk at the same time, we like to ensure that we're truly sound. Like you take a car for a sound check, an engine check. So when we say we're forgiving you, we truly have. But we will not forget the lessons that we have learned so that we can use our lives as an example to help those that are still going through the same thing, to break free the prisons of life that wicked people, ignorant people, rich people that are misplaced in their thoughts try to shackle other people with. I don't have enough money to come here to preach to you. I'm not even as learned as I would like to be to stand here. The only reason why I'm standing here talking to you is because I am a human being. And if God could use the donkey to talk to Balaam, you can at least from your high places make the time and give me just a moment to realize that you all don't know nothing. You don't know what God has not shown you. You don't know what your brain has not allowed you to know. So when you see people in pain, you tell them, it's okay, let go, sis, move on. Because you're not in their lives to live every day with how they have to struggle from within to keep themselves from going insane. See, we still want to be part of a normal society, be seen as respectable and respectful. We still want to be achievers and do the things that successful people do. So we cannot afford to pretend like you when some people have filling the houses of psychiatric hospitals. They are there being treated for brain disorders. You step on somebody in the marketplace and they bring out a knife ready to stab you. Marriages are breaking up every day. Mothers are becoming like children, and children are so disobedient and angry from within their spirits because you all pretend that you're whole and healed. And these people don't know why they feel the way they feel, or how come they're going through or experiencing what they are experiencing. Because when they look at the world, they're all, you hypocrites are all perfectly lined up, doing the right things, saying the right things, dressing the right way. But nobody goes with you back home when you get into your closets. When you scream on your husbands, scream at your children, break the rules, secretly sniff that cocaine. No, nobody's there when before you go to bed you have to be stuperously drunk. And in the morning you wake up and put on your perfume and colognes. You act like you're whole, but you're broken on the inside. So because God has given us, people like me, the gift of reality and not delusion, to stand and use our past lives as an example doesn't make us lesser than you are, or treacherous, or disrespectful. My experience is my own. If you don't understand what autonomy is and independence is, I'll teach you, because you're not in my life. You who haven't lived my life don't own any rights at all. Sold, borrowed, assumed that you have a right to tell me how to unlive my realities. It's not your place. But I love y'all, and I'm not a disrespectful wayward child. So I understand where you're coming from. It's from your ignorance, and I'll meet you at that point in the middle. I'm not going to go into the ignorant houses and thoughts that you live in. But if you don't take anything away from here today, take away from the fact that our brains are the powerhouses to our bodies. They're the engines of the cars that we drive. And sometimes they take over if you deny them enough. So when you have been through damaging acts from other people, even if it's in the name of discipline and done out of innocence, it's not what they do to you, it's how you perceive it, and it lands in your life that matters. You must find a place, a safe place, a respectful, respectable place to use those lessons to teach others. If you don't, you just end up bottling all that bitterness, hurt, destruction on the inside, and they will destroy something. So rather than have your thoughts, your past experiences and disgrace and inadequacies and inefficiencies destroy you, find a safe forum to speak it and do God's work to heal other people. Those who won't like you won't like you. Those who will say, hey, because the world is full of sarcasm right now, and a lot of people are hypocrites, even those that have been through what you have been through. Because a lot of people judge the measures of their lives by the money in the bank. So if your bitterness has driven you to the stage where you have accumulated enough because of the intensity and passion of your hurts in the past, because different things drive us. I just stand here as a representative of those that have been destroyed, broken, hated, once rejected, but didn't let the bitterness eat their souls. I know how to treat people. I'm kind, I'm honest, I'm hardworking. I'm a registered nurse. I get my master's in 12 weeks. I didn't let the bitterness of my past destroy me. Not just because I'm that strong, but because God led me to a place where I understood and understand more every day what the perpetrators that try to destroy me were trying to do. It's not like my father hated me. My father loved me. And even though he did stray and do those things, ask any of my siblings, they will tell you that I was the most loved of my father's children, because he realized, and I have forgiven. But those years, the large gap, will not be thrown into the trash, all in the name of trying to be a hypocrite. And if my father were alive, he too would have understood, because my father loved me. So here again I say, I am Liam. Mind your businesses. Tread softly on this case. You have destroyed everything Mohbad has ever worked for. It's not too late. Turn around. It is not too late. But use the heals, the hurts, the bitterness of your lives as lessons from a positive light, so everybody can heal. Learn not to leave people bitter than you met them. Help us heal each other together. One love. I am Leah. I'm moving on up. Not just your regular moving on. I'm moving on up. My name is Elizabeth Adiola Oshodi. Iriel. Iriel.